Hi, I'm on my way to meet my couples, meet my clients. I met them already, but this is the second time meeting them for a consultation call. Consultation call, because I'm a destination wedding photographer, oftentimes happens online, either through Zoom. But if there's any kind of opportunity, if they live close by, if they're in town for some reason, if there's any way that we could meet up, then I'd like to take the opportunity to meet up with them. So today I thought, why I spend more time to meet with my clients than showing up just on the day to photograph their wedding or their engagement session. This pretty much happens every session, unless the couple explicitly say that we don't need to meet up. I always tell them that it's nice to. I will tell you all the reasons that I do this in this video, so stay tuned for that. But I thought this is a perfect timing to record something like this because I was on my way to meet my couples. I have a little bit of time, and I usually charge my car at home, but it didn't. I forgot to charge it last night, so I thought I'll just do a little bit of charging, and then it gives me just right amount of time to record this video. So today I'm going to break it down into three sections. One is why I meet with couples before this session. Second, what do we talk about? And the third, what happens after the meeting? So hopefully this will give you a good sense of guidance in terms of what will come if you were to set up a shoot with me, or even if you don't book me. I do consultation call with every client. So even if you just have questions about adventure elopements, adventure weddings, or even travel information to some of the locations that you're going to, there's no commitment to setting up a consultation call with me. Let's dive into the first section, which is why meet with the couples. One, a lot of photographers will tell you this, but I'm definitely a type of person who likes to tell the stories. As a photographer, I feel like my job, especially on the adventure wedding, oftentimes there are no guests. If there are any guests, there are very few. So my job as a photographer and videographer is to tell that story to the world. Whether the couple wants to keep it to themselves and maybe show it to their kids once they have kids in 5 years, 10 years down the road, or if they want to share with friends and families, that they can do that through their social media or just showing it to them on their phone or on their computer, and so on. A lot of couples will decide to do the adventure wedding for intimacy and creating sort of the vibe that the couple specifically wants. They still want to show to people they love. So for me to learn about the couple is probably one of the biggest things. Do we connect on a lot of different levels? As to a lot of the couples, I'm the only guest at their wedding. So it's quite important for couples to like me to spend the entire day together. It doesn't just come down to do I take good photos? Do I take good videos? It comes down to connection. It comes down to how well I can understand you guys. Because once I understand you a little bit more in terms of what you like, what you don't like, what are some of the vibe that you are going for, what are some of the styles that you like for me to deliver in, that understanding all those, getting to know someone in such a short amount of time is it's not really possible, but I will try my best to get to know you in a little bit deeper level. I do this in multiple different ways. I send the questionnaires, but having to meet someone and just discussing about what they like, what they don't like, is probably one of the very first big steps that I can take in an attempt to understand the couple as much as possible. Couples will suggest a few things that they like, some of the places they've been to, they love, some of the things that they like, some of the photos they saw that they loved in that area. So that will give me a lot of these different ideas, and I'll try to absorb them as much as possible. I will make I will make notes, and at the same time, I will offer my expertise, my ideas. Oftentimes, because we don't know what we don't know, right? So some of the things that you have been seeing on Instagram, maybe you have seen on Pinterest, on TikTok, those are very nice and very cool, but at the same time, there may be something to your vibe. Um, so I always like to throw different ideas around and see if there are anything that you like, that you prefer doing. That we'll discuss all those things in much more details. All right, moving on to the second section. What do we talk about? So why we talk about is kind of similar to what we talk about, but we go sort of like deeper into those conversations. So first of all, why did you choose where and when to elope is probably one of the first questions that I ask in an attempt to get to know you two. That usually tells a lot of stories. Where and when. Oh, by the way, if you are in stages where you haven't quite decided where or when you want to elope, I often do that with the couples quite a lot as well. So there are couples, like for example, the meeting that I'm going to right now, we did the first meeting already, but the bride couldn't make it. So I just met with the groom and we just talked. We kind of decided on location. So in their situation, they were thinking Japan or some of the Asian countries. But at the same time, they did mention to me that they are going to Switzerland on holiday. So I suggested, how about we just do it in Switzerland? And they actually loved that idea because one, they wanted to do something in the mountains and they loved the idea. She was on board. And so that's why we're doing the second meeting only a week after, I think, a week and a half after. So yeah, understanding. So in this situation, they were really open to a lot of things, a lot of different things. But in some of the situation, there are couples whom I met. They are from California. They love Yosemite. They go to Yosemite quite a lot. But at the same time, they don't want to do it at Yosemite because that's somewhere that they can go to quite a lot. They want to do it somewhere that has similar vibe, but at the same time, um, somewhere they haven't been to. They wanted some suggestions in terms of where I have been to that would look amazing in the photos and that would fit the vibe of Yosemite. Yosemite is a canyon with big mountain ridges with some rocks showing and a lot of trees. So I suggested the Dolomites in Italy. They've never been to the Dolomites or any of the Alps, so they're considering it. From there, if we decide on a location, then we can decide on when, because obviously, if you're going to the Dolomites, unless you are vibing for that sort of wintry look, probably winter is not the best time to go to the Dolomites. It's all ski season. Probably you want to go when it's all melted, the mountains showing. Anyway, so I'm going into deeper sort of like section of this, but yeah, these are the stuff that we talk about. So general conversations is another thing that we do. We chat a lot about, like in terms of where they're from, how did they meet, why they decided to live in area they are living in. Just having sort of that sort of background story kind of tells me, pictures the stories of different things. So yeah, those are always something I'm interested in. If they have something prepared, like especially because this is the second meeting, they will definitely have some of the images that they like and some of the vibe they like. When I say images, I'm not talking about So the photos of other photographers in the style that they are photographing. I'm talking more in sense of the background, the environment that they're in, and if they have any kind of activities, ideas, whether that's canoeing, picnic, helicopter ride, the campfire, all those little things can be an element on their day. So yeah, we can definitely implement something like that. Let's move on to the third section. What happens after our meeting? Usually, I send something I call guideboard. Guideboard is a word that I made up. Probably you can guess it to some degree. But guideboard is a sort of like a mood board or a board that guides the couples to having all the information at one spot. So oftentimes, if we send emails back and forth, the problem is there are a lot of information that we miss. There are a lot of things, there are just a lot of details in the emails. And, when you send so many emails back and forth, they get buried in the threads. So what I like to do is create a guideboard. I do this both on Notion and Google Docs, depending on where we're going and depending how we want to structure it. Google Docs is great because they can download it and then take a look whenever they want. Notion is a little bit more complicated. There are a lot of nature that doesn't have internet service, then Notion is not really a great tool. So yeah, I use both, and I give them all the different mood board, different things that they suggested, the styles they liked, all the feedbacks that I got from showing some of my photos. And then from there will be a lot of vendor recommendations. Couples will start booking vendors different vendors as well, from either having private chef after the ceremony or hair and makeup, cake, all that sort of stuff. And once they start booking those vendors, all those vendors' information will get added onto the guideboard as well. So from the guideboard, you'll be able to see the entire day. So one of the most important aspects of having a plan, having a timeline, and having a guideboard is setting the right expectation with your couples. By setting the right expectation, there are no surprises. The couples and I will decide everything in every little details in the most precise manner as possible. This will help clients to really just focus on each other. There are a lot of different variables that can change, but being on the same page and having the same expectation is key to creating a wonderful day, a very memorable day, and at the same time, me delivering higher standard of photography and videography work. So that's why I do the consultation call, whether you want consultation call to be online or for a coffee or for ramen in this situation. That's where I'm going right now. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's fun. But hopefully this helped you understand why I do consultation call, and hope you set up one with me pretty soon as well. All right. Thank you. Bye.